Good evening, everyone. My name is Matthias Röder. I'm the managing director of the Eliette and Herbert von Karajan Institute, and I welcome you to our special Mozart and Karajan live show tonight. I've seen already that some of you are in the chat rooms sending your greetings to us, and I want to begin with just a few words about how special this is for us, that you are out there, that you, our community of music lovers, are following, and we can feel you from here in Salzburg. This has been a really challenging year for music. It has been a challenging year for everyone. We've lost friends, we've lost family to the virus, and our life is no longer like it used to be. But it is also a time of great emotion to many of us, and I want to spend a few moments and just also reflect about the things that have changed, that are positive, that we can look forward. For music, of course, there are very few stages open, very few events have taken place, and that is heartbreaking. But there are also wonderful events that are happening online, that are happening in smaller venues, and I know that all of you are following that. So when we sat down last year and we thought, what can we do in January when Mozart's birthday is around the corner? We said, well, how about we take a look at the special relationship between Mozart and Karajan? And I am really happy and really proud that my team at the Karajan Institute has taken the time, the effort, and the love and emotion to really create something remarkable. Our first documentary movie that we produced all by ourselves in the Institute. And I'm very, very excited that the filmmaker, the director, my colleague, Julia Binek, is with us today. Welcome, Julia.
Hello, thank you for the invitation. And I think, first of all, I have to say, happy birthday, Wolfall. Happy birthday, Mozart. May you hear us up there.
You said Wolfall. What is Wolfall? Is that a code word?
Code word for all the Salzburger here at Salzburg. It's a dialect word.
Yes, Wolfall. Julia, you are part of the Karajan team for quite some time now. You have produced many, many interviews for us with famous musicians, with young musicians, with our Karajan fellows. How was it for you to produce a full documentary movie now?
It was interesting. It was challenging. And yeah, it was something new because it was my first documentary I produced, and challenging because you have a fixed idea first in your mind, and then you try to implement this idea, and then you get to the point where you say, no, I can't go further, I can't reach this idea, and then you have to do or to get some alternatives to get to this direction, to get to this idea.
Mm-hmm. So when you started out, what was the idea you had in mind for the film? Tell us a little bit about that.
I mean, it was very personally because going some years back when I was 5 years old, it was clear that I want to become an opera singer, and I got a CD disc of Die Zauberflöte by Mozart, conducted by Karl Böhm, and then I was getting addicted to the CD disc and was listening to it all the time. And on the other hand, my mother is addicted or was addicted to Beethoven music by Karajan recordings.
Ah, okay. So you Böhm on the one hand, Karajan on the other hand, Mozart and Beethoven.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, also maybe from my surroundings at this time, I got the picture of Böhm is Mozart and Karajan is really Beethoven. And so I thought, maybe why I do have these musical habits or these prejudices of Böhm and Mozart, and I really wanted to find it out.
Wow, that's a cool question. I mean, I remember when I grew up, I also listened to Mozart mainly through the recordings of Böhm and Brahms and Beethoven through Karajan. So also for me, watching your film and hearing what these great artists that you interviewed for this film, what they have to say about that. The film is going to be premiered at 8 p.m. So you just have to wait for a few more minutes on YouTube. You can watch it on our YouTube channel. And hopefully watch it again tomorrow and the day after, and send it to your friends so that a lot of people can hear this wonderful music. I think you did something really cool in the film. You interviewed some of the artists that Herbert von Karajan worked with, and you also went to some of the remarkable Mozart and music institutions in Salzburg. So this film is really a mix of music, artists, and Mozart places in Salzburg. Tell us a little bit about, some of the highlights that we'll see. Where did you go and film, for instance?
I mean, we focused on 3 spots in Salzburg. So it's St. Peter Abbey, it's the festival houses, so the large stage, for instance, and the Mozarteum, the Stiftung Mozarteum. So I think these are the 3 connections Karajan and Mozart had the most. And I tried to figure out deeper the connection there. And with some beautiful artists, I got the idea of it.
Great. So, I want to say to our audience that if you have questions, if you want to ask a question to Julia, you can write your question in the comment. We will see that here on screen, and we can then answer your question. I'm going to start a little bit, and this is going to be interesting for you guys as well. And ask Julia, how do you start out, then making the movie? What comes first, and how does that production process look like? Tell us a little bit about where you actually got started.
I think it's always a personal approach to the topic, and it was definitely one with me. And then you go further with the technical steps, how we can implement it with the cameras, with the budget, and then you write your ideas down. Then you have a quick scale and the steps what you want to go.
And you also brought some pictures with you that we can look at from the behind the scenes. I mean, so tell us a little about what we see here. Where are we?
So this is here in the institute. It was the very first start, looking with Pia Bernau, the archive leader here, head of the archive. I'm sorry.
Head of the archive.
Yes. And we were looking all in notes, in the pictures, and also we have a great opportunity here in the institute. We have the Discover Karajan. So that's digital and online. It's a platform, and then you put a name of an artist in the platform. So we see it here.
Well, everyone can check that out, discoverkarajan.com.
Yes, exactly. And for instance, we put Anna Tomova-Sintov in it, and then we see her all performances with Karajan together, and where it was, for instance. And it's great because then you have a quick overview over the life of Karajan and the life of the artists.
Yeah, apparently our internet connection is still not fast enough. But I encourage everyone to go in there and find their favorite recordings. We actually also have a map on that website that lets you browse and find places where music happened. But let's go back to the slideshow, because we have some nice gems there. Um, for you audience, something special coming up in a little bit. So you look at a lot of materials, you start to find your entry point into the story. Some of the scores that you looked at, were they Mozart scores, and what were you looking at there?
It was the first one was Mozart's Zauberflöte, of course, because we focused on two pieces, two operas in the documentary, Die Zauberflöte and Don Giovanni, of course. And Zauberflöte is my one and only opera for me, for my approach to Mozart music, especially the overture. So yeah, I was looking inside the scales and inside the scores to see something new or to take something to bring it up in the documentary.
And I think what people who are watching may not know is that Herbert von Karajan very, very rarely wrote into his musical scores. Very little marks, but we have some scores in our institute where he actually did. And those are always scores that were used to produce then something visual, a film with music, a music performance that was going to be put on celluloid and shown for the big picture. In those scores, we have his markings, and those are very special. And I think we should do a special show one day about these musicological, geeky, nerdy topics and show these to people. Can we continue with the slideshow as we speak? Yeah, where is this film?
That was Lucas. It was the great cameraman, my camera team, my one-man camera team, let's say so.
Yeah,
yeah, he was amazing.
Faster, by the way, Nikolai, our man in the editing room. We can go faster through the pictures because we have many of them.
Yeah. Then that was our tour through Salzburg with a gimbal and cameras, and yeah, that's, of course, we have to do it also via Zoom, to do it online, but that also gave us the opportunity to have an interview with Mailand, with the great Janet Perry as well.
Wow, yeah. So this is part of what this year has brought to us. Completely new situation. We have to find ways to reach people via Zoom, via internet. Tell us a little bit about how that went. Was it always smooth sailing, or is this actually not so easy to do? What are your experiences?
I mean, I have to say it, on the one hand, it's easier to reach more people, and not to say how I can reach the person, how's the travel and everything. On the other hand, I mean, the quality of the camera, the quality of speaking together in person, it's not the same as you do it normally as we know it.
Yeah, like in this image here, you are with Rolando Villason, famous singer, but also artistic director of the Mozart Week in Salzburg. This is, of course, possible because he was in town and because you kept a 2. This is even 3 meters distance. So well done with COVID regulations.
Yes.
Yeah. How is it for you you are a singer yourself, when you call up these guys who are famous singers and you ask them for an interview? Are you nervous? Tell us a little bit.
I mean, I have a special approach to this situation because I say to myself, I mean, it's also a person like me, but I have really a great respect to her, to him, but I'm speaking to her like a human being, and I think not jumping on the floor.
That's great. Julia, we brought something very special from the behind the scenes, something that maybe most people who are watching now have not seen in person and maybe will not be able to see. It's a short clip, but it is very meaningful for all of the Karajan fans. But actually, before we do that, let's take a look at this. Keep it going, Nikolai. This is the stage on which Karajan performed many performances of operas, but it's such a incredibly big auditorium and also wide stage. How does it feel to be up there? Can you share your experiences?
I mean, it felt very with goosebumps on the arms because you were standing on this stage, on this large stage, and you're seeing all the audience without people. That was remarkable.
And I think in terms of the sheer size of the stage, it's one of the largest, or maybe the largest opera stage in the world, isn't it? Isn't that correct?
Yes, true. I think the biggest opera house is the Metropolitan Operas in New York, of course, but this one has the largest stage.
Yeah.
And Karajan founded it under his guidance. Yes.
I remember one interesting story when we had rehearsals for the 50th anniversary of the Easter Festival. And the idea was to have these projections from behind the stage onto a translucent screen. And they nowadays, these projections are done with big projectors, and the guys who were doing this were really unhappy because they couldn't have wide enough of an angle, so they would have to go back further on the stage to get a wider angle. And they told the technical directors there, and one of them said, "But we still have the Karajan hole." And they're like, "What is the Karajan hole?" Well, it turned out that 50 years earlier, Karajan had the exact same issues with the projections back then. And because there was the mountain and they couldn't go back further, he actually ordered someone with dynamite to blow a huge hole into the mountain so that the projectors could be moved backwards and be wide enough. And I think this is just remarkable. I think he was looking for the wide angle picture like what we have today, the 16:9 and the 4K movie experience.
Yes, true.
Yeah. Now we get to this point where we watch the special video. I asked Nikolai to roll it and then tell us what we see here.
That was very special because that's actually the way Karajan went to the stage to conduct from behind the stage. That's the last, how to say, the last few meters and the last few minutes by himself before he gets to the audience.
And here we are back on stage. And for those of you who have been at the Salzburg Festival Hall at concerts, this is where the conductor comes on stage and then takes his or her bows.
Yes. I mean, that's the concert version. In an opera, he goes down to the stage. So, but it wasn't
the pit.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is for another time, because I heard that there are still some graffitis from the musicians that played under Karajan in these, halls and in the orchestra pit. So that's maybe for another video.
For sure.
Julia, in the beginning, you started by saying that you did this film with a personal question in mind, to clarify a little bit why you had this musical prejudice of Mozart is Böhm and Karajan is Beethoven. What have you found making the film in regards to this question?
I found lots of interesting points. I mean, of course, it was a special honor to speak with all the great artists, with Anna Tomova-Sintov, Rolando Villason, and Ferruccio Furlanetto, Bata Burciolazze, all these artists who were really remarkable in their times and also nowadays. And I think we have to look at, on the one hand, that Ulrich Leisinger and Peter Peinstingel were saying from a objective view that Böhm has a really clear approach to the Mozart music and a really historical approach. And Karajan was more personally and more in a romantic way. And that make sense for me, and that makes me to get another view on it. And also from the stories from the singers that were saying, yeah, with Böhm it was like this, and with Karajan it was like this, and you will hear it soon when you watch it. So yeah, and it changed it.
That's really nice. So for you, this was also a personal journey with a happy ending.
Yes, hopefully. That's
wonderful. True. I want to thank you very much again for. Oh, the telephone is ringing.
The telephone is ringing.
Tell them we're live. They should send their questions on the comments. Thank you so much, Julia. This was really a delightful half hour with you, learning about, why you did the film, the passion that you brought to it. And I'm really excited about this premiere that is going to happen in a few minutes. I want to thank all of our viewers out there. We saw your comments. We're sending greetings and love to you all over the place. People from Turkey, from I see people from Germany, Mehdi, hi Mehdi, and so on. This is really wonderful to see. So please stay on our YouTube channel. We're going to post the link in the comments here. But if you go to our YouTube channel, type in Herbert von Karajan, you will be able to see this stream at 8 o'clock, so in 6 minutes. And I hope to see many of you there, and then in other streams that we're going to do in the next weeks as well. So thanks again, Julia. Thank you to the whole team, and bye-bye, everyone.
I think we have, just a second, we have to add on Friday that we have the virtual theater performance.
Oh,
and it's very, very special, because we have the Don Giovanni performance from which we were talking in the documentary. So we will all invite you to this theater performance from the production from 1987 by Karajan.
That's right. I completely forgot to mention that. Also, I want to say that if you aren't on our newsletter yet, please sign up. All you have to do is go to www.karajan.community, and you will be brought to a page where you can sign up for our newsletter. And then every week you will get the latest news from the Institute, and all of the wonderful things happening in the universe of Karajan. Did I forget anything else?
Thank you for the invitation.
Okay, wonderful. All right, guys. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye-bye.